Okay, so I'm getting ready this morning. I'm so tired because 2 nights ago I slept 0. And then last night I made up for that. That's usually what I do. So I slept great, surprisingly, praise be. And I looked at my phone, I had 19%. And I was like, so were you actually sleep talking?
Or did you have TikTok running?
That's what I mean. I'm like, did I pull a Katie and I just laid it next to me or you fall asleep with it in your hand. But welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dayna Kathan.
Unapologetically,
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
Hi.
I don't do that anymore. Sometimes. Depends. I don't know. I call like when I go on Reddit and read like Am I the Asshole stories, my bedtime stories.
I love those stories. Honestly, I'm like, should we add that to this episode? Like, do some Am I the Assholes?
Yeah, I think that could be part of like a WWDD question of like an Am I the Asshole?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So then we'll say, yeah, if you want to write in, you need to know if you're the asshole. We want more of those because we've gotten some in the past, but they're so good. Like,
yeah.
And we'll let you guys get away with
it. Out there.
There are, and we'll let you guys get away with
And
murder.
there's a lot of gaslighters too. Anyway, but yeah, I watched all of Love on the Spectrum yesterday and cried.
What did you? I know I cry.
It's so good. I just all of them. Like I can't even pick a favorite. It might be Connor. He's like a actor. Like his like the way he like moves on camera. He sometimes will address cameras. And one time he's like, "When I walk away, you should play Cats in the Cradle," as if I'm emerging at a new step in life. And like, he's giving direction to the
like Cats in the Cradle, the Silver Spoon, Little Boy Blue, The Man on the Moon. Oh my God.
It was perfect. But like, yeah, I don't know. He's just so like, he had his like first kiss and he was like, his eyes, he's like, I can't feel my legs. I'm like, this is like, I want a love like that. I feel like I have a love like that, but you do. Anyway.
I mean, they're so sweet. We were talking about this yesterday me and Katie have been doing a new Pilates class.
Speaking of not feeling your legs.
If you're not, I'm so sore. Are you so sore today? I like felt it today.
Yeah, just in general, I'm weak.
Her is Lindsay with an E, Kohan, Kohon. She's a Pilates instructor. I think Bailey said that she's trained Gaga before, or maybe some other people, but it is the best Pilates I've ever done in my life. I used to do a Megaformer for 8 years, and this is a more classic Pilates machine.
This is how Pilates was intended to be done.
And oh my God, we went as a group, like just for funsies, and then we loved her so much. Me and Katie have been going twice a week, and she's amazing. So if you're looking for Pilates, I feel my body for the first time in years.
Yeah, I mean, because with most classes, I think just as a standard, just for being appealing to all levels, they have the springs pretty light. But she has the springs up so hard and like heavy for us that I'm like, oh my God. Like I just have never put that much weight on it.
No, she's so mean, but in a good way, in a way that I like. Like she's like so like good at it and is just like pushes you, which is what we're looking for.
It's, when you're doing like a more like one-on-one or just two people at a time, it's much more like personal attention. So it's a good thing.
You're not getting away with anything.
You can't just slack off.
She's like, tuck that pelvis. The thing is, so the reason I brought that up is we were talking about Love on the Spectrum yesterday, and I'm just so sensitive, and I just feel so many feelings. But I know it's a feel good show.
It's so uplifting. It's so inspiring and uplifting, and such feel good TV. The music feels good. Just the personalities, the families are all so amazing. I can't be in a bad mood.
Well, do you know what I watched yesterday? Not at all something uplifting. ER. So but it gets to what I ended my night with. Floor came over and we watched like 6 episodes. Those are long episodes, you guys. We put in hours.
Well, I still watched The Pit to just sort of like throw in the mix, and then had to go back for the palate cleanser for more Love on the Spectrum.
I mean, I'm overwhelmed. I have 7 more seasons to go with ER, and it's really monopolizing my time. I just like at this point,
you are in so deep. That is such a commitment to just dive into a 15 season show like that.
I think we started this in February. It's April. I'm busting my ass. I'll work like a dog day and night. Here's the thing. Speaking of TikTok, I think the new ban is happening again tomorrow. I don't even care anymore, so we'll see what happens. But
it's okay. Most of my like vocal stems come from like old movies anyway, so I'll miss my TikToks, but it's okay.
I know we have a bunch of fish to fry, bigger fish to fry. But the thing is, maybe my personality will short circuit. Maybe that's going to be like my innie versus my outie in Severance. Like. You
need to finish. I watched Severance. I watched all of it. Severance.
Your outie watches TikTok for 20 hours a day.
I watched all of it. There's only 2 seasons, so I watched all of it like in the last week. You guys, I've been watching a lot of TV. Like this is how I spend my time. I don't know if I'm just going through something, but like I don't want to leave my couch. I only want to watch television.
Flora and I were talking about that. We were like talking about how, short life is and how small we are. And then we were spending 7 hours watching ER and on the couch. And she was like, is there anything better?
No.
I love it. And I was like,
there is nothing better. I don't care. I don't care how people view that. I know some people, especially in the city, will be like, you got to get out. You got to work out. Like what? Go to Runyon Canyon with all the other fucking losers.
Those dorks?
Those
as you would
dorks
say,
who drive around looking for parking for 3 hours. Like, no, I don't think so. And then go get the same smoothie at a place I do enjoy, but like, no, I'm not doing that.
Those people have never been to 7-Eleven. You can just tell.
That's what I mean. I want like a goblin rot on the couch where I'm heating up a burrito from yesterday.
You know, I know that there are people listening right now who are rotting, and we salute you. That's all I have to say. We're honored to be a part of your routine.
You are my
and
people.
your life experience.
Yeah, if you have a job, good on you.
Yeah. Well, okay, wait.
I'm allergic.
Cart before the horse. Cart before the horse. We are missing 2 huge things.
Oh.
Number 1, if you're watching this, our new studio, and by new studio, I mean we hung Julia's
it's an improvement.
Portraits for us. So at juju.baby, we hung Julia's portraits. They're amazing. We're so excited to bring a little pop of color in the studio.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, huge thing.
Huge,
big.
3-digit huge.
It's our 100th episode.
Yay.
You guys, I think that's so crazy to me. Like I can't get over those. Okay, that's your bedrock goblin. Those are your type of fireworks.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. On our first episode, Katie was so rude to me trying to open the champagne. We brought champagne and Katie is going to now open it. I'm not doing that.
Meaning I made you open it?
No, I was happy to open it, but you were like, come on, 3 twists, 6 twists. What are you doing over there? You were so backseat corking.
6 twists.
Whatever. Anyway, so we brought champagne and we figured we'd have a little sip and a little chat. Wow, what are you doing over there?
The nails. I haven't had nails.
It's your nails. It's your nails.
This is my collab.
Her collab looks so good. Little quickie
with
shout
quickies, out. Yeah. Katie Maloney quickies. These are called Bad Romance.
Well, I didn't have a quickie collab on at the time that I could blame my incompetence on.
Oop,
okay. Okay.
It's usually 6 twists and 3 turns.
That's me giving a little. We're doing a little
I only
pause
know that
for
from the people that do like the fancy people that are like drinking like $1,000 bottles of champagne.
Well, this
on
is
TikTok.
mom, so this is not that. Fill us up, and then you know who else I think should have a little sip with us? I think Alice and Leia should come in and have a little sip with us too, and we're gonna have a little chat with our amazing producers. Thank you so much. Should I pour Celsius in it and make it a mimosa?
I just apologize to myself for spilling on myself.
You're so polite.
Cheers!
Cheers to 100 episodes.
Cheers. I feel like I'm on Love is Blind.
We are on Love is Blind. Okay, I have one more surprise before we get to talking to our favorite producers for you.
What's that?
Okay, Laszlo ate all my wrapping paper. So I put a bow. Flora watched me wrap this yesterday because it's all f***ed up, but here you go. Okay. So this is a little gift for our 100th episode, but it's a little bit of a Sophie's choice because when I purchased it for you, I got it just because I was like, she has to have this. But I was like, it also could be good in the studio. So you either will have it here or you'll have it at home. Either is fine. Go ahead and open.
I feel like this has something to do with a hot dog.
Damn.
Katie's gift was Celsius.
Do those, I give her a big Celsius. Did those nails make you an oracle or what?
Yes. Okay. Ready, guys?
Yeah. Oh my God, I have that.
Eat me.
I do. I literally have that too. It's the best thing ever.
My God.
It's a hot dog vase that says "Eat me" in mustard.
Okay, well, we must switch this out.
I know. I was thinking.
Oh yeah. Throw those.
Pull it out.
Throw that video out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yay.
so funny.
How cute.
Okay, I think
it has to live here.
I think this would be better for the studio.
I agree.
I love
All right,
it.
that'll be our new piece.
New set
Okay.
piece
Thank you
for
so much. That
100.
is so cute and so thoughtful and so us.
So shout out to Randy, one of my best friends from back home. She sent it to me and said, Katie. And I was like, no, you don't understand. I'm buying this right. And within 2 seconds, I was checking out. I was like, oh yeah.
We've talked about like our like brands and how like things just become you. Like if there's ever like a viral like emo something that's going around, like the emo Grinch, the emo whatever. I get sent that video 100 times, and pretty much anything that has a hot dog in it. Like, I get sent all of them, and I love like you get cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
I was gonna say, Dana, you get cigarettes and crows.
Cigarettes and crows. Or anything horror. Someone sent me the other day. It was a cigarette on an incense thing, and it was like just trying to catch a vibe. I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Honestly,
That's funny.
Okay, hi you two.
Hi.
So welcome. If people are watching and they haven't seen you, I mean, maybe they haven't watched Vile Files or whatever, but I just want to hear from you guys. Tell us about how great we are to work with,
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
what your
what's your
favorite parts
favorite
are.
thing about working on this show?
Oh my goodness. I mean, there's so many things. This puts us on the spot.
I know.
Well, I think the first and foremost, working with both of you has been nothing short of just
Interesting.
the best, interesting
Good.
in the best way. And I just love everything you guys have to say and what you guys stand for and what we talk about. And I think, and we've created a great coven from it too. So, yay, coven!
I love
we're
that.
cheersing all of you at home. Obviously, we couldn't do this without our coven, and we're so grateful for the community we have, and obviously the work that you guys put in. You just are so amazing.
Thank you.
We love it. Kalea, what do you love about us?
I love that you guys are just the best people, like human beings. I look forward to you coming in every week and now twice a week. And it's just so, you guys are such a breath of fresh air, and I get the best belly laughs when you guys are here, which is so important for my mental health. So thank you.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know this show without you guys, but you're just such a fundamental part of it. So everyone listening at home, just know how much we love them. And obviously there's a bunch more team members that we don't see or hear from, but you guys make our little disrespectfully world go around. So
We like being
We
in the
love it. We
disrespectfully
love it.
world. We're here to stay.
Well, we couldn't do it without you. So
No.
thank you.
We love you guys. Cheers
Love
to
you guys.
disrespectfully.
cheers to you guys. I'm so like proud of us also. I love that
I
we
know.
get
100
to do the show,
episodes.
and like, yeah, 100 episodes is
That's so great.
We've sat in this chair 100 times.
fucking times.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like more.
You've
No.
laughed, you've loved, you've cried,
We've lived, laughed,
lived, laughed, laughed.
Taking shots.
Yeah.
Yes.
taken shots, taken vapes, been hungover, almost thrown up.
Oh, that was a fun episode.
Taking shots
Oof.
in more than one way.
Yeah,
You
Oof.
know.
heartbreak, come back from it.
Mhm.
You know, all kinds
Take
of stuff.
shots at
You've
people.
cried.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
taking
gross.
more
That's
than
gross.
one kind
Yeah.
of shot.
That's
Yeah.
you know. Anyway, but yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add to anyone?
I think we should do hot dog reviews.
Ooh.
Okay.
Hot dog tour.
That's fun. What do you mean? Is it like your favorite?
Either like on social media or on the show, just do like hot dog. Like we'll
Oh my
take
God.
recommendations and do hot dog reviews.
Send your favorite.
Okay.
Oh, send your favorite hot dogs or your state's like signature hot dog. Because I know like certain states have like their signatures.
Yeah.
Or
I
cities.
know.
Oh.
And
So-
trust me, for everyone that sent me the hot dog tower, I intend on doing that. That is
What's
on the
hot dog
bucket
tower?
list. We know that like they're like move over seafood towers. It's all about the hot dog tower, and it's like literally they're like little mini
Oh,
hot
pigs in a blanket.
Oh, I haven't
dogs.
seen that.
No, they're just like it's just a tower that has
Oh.
hot dogs on it.
Oh.
Would you ever do a hot dog eating contest?
No, I'll choke.
No, I think she enjoys her esophagus, and we need it for
I-
this show to
I like-
happen.
I
So
also
no,
wanna
thank you.
I want to savor the wiener. I don't want to just like
So true.
inhale it.
Yeah.
Dunk it in water and
And when you were like review hot dogs, I was like, I already know my list, but here's what I have to say. No one on planet Earth, one of my secret talents I don't talk about enough, is the ability to make the best blue box that has ever happened. So Kraft macaroni and cheese, but I make it in a really special way that is so delicious and creamy.
Mhm.
But when I put hot dogs in it, it has to be Oscar Mayer all beef Franks, and I cut them very thin. So you cut them thin, you put them in the water with the noodles, so they boil with the new. So it just it
the hot dog
emulsifies,
water.
and it's it's literal hot dog water.
Emulsifies.
But
Hot
let
dog
me
water.
let me
Okay.
tell you, it is the creamiest. There is nothing I look forward to more in this life than a hot box of that shit. So
Yo.
I also have a new bucket list item. I want to
Oh.
drive the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile
Yes.
or ride in it. I'll take a ride. I'll drive it, but like I'll also take a ride.
I
I'm a
feel like we
really
can
great
make that happen.
driver.
Wiener
We gotta
whipping.
be able to make that
there's
happen.
there's no way that someone listening doesn't have a connection to the Wienermobile. I saw a TikTok of a guy running out. He's like, I just missed the Wienermobile. Trying to get a
I
video
know.
of it.
I posted that because I saw it in West Hollywood when I was on the way to Sandwich Shop,
Mm.
and I was like, let me drive it. Nothing came of that.
Maybe
so
we can do an
I don't
episode
know.
out of it. You can drive it and I can ride shotgun.
Oh my god, carpool karaoke.
Live from
Disrespectfully
the
from
Wienermobile.
the Wienermobile.
Yeah.
Iconic stuff.
Ooh, I'm down.
Shoot, me
I
too.
feel like I've been campaigning for especially the summertime because hot dogs, like they're an anytime
Mhm.
thing, but like especially for summertime that like they really shine. I think for something about her to have a hot dog.
Wait.
Whoa.
How great would that be?
Yeah.
Because then it could be this whole like, is it a sandwich? Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Great.
Is a hot dog.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's sandwiched.
Oh my God, you guys should absolutely
Tacos
fucking
are
do that.
not burgers. Are burgers? They're technically maybe a sandwich,
Yeah.
but I always think I don't put them together. But anyways, burgers show up on weird menus. Like I don't know. Anyway, so I think that'd be
But
fun.
that's so you though too, and
Yeah.
it's your business.
And you can
so-
call it the Katie.
Well, they already have a
Maloney.
already
no,
have a
well they
Katie?
have it's the Kate, which is not
the Kate.
Oh, the
Me.
Katie.
That's
Don't get it
different.
twisted.
Kate and Katie.
The
is different.
disrespect.
we could just call it
Oh,
Yes.
like that.
Should we bleep that so
Yes.
no one steals that and you can
Yeah.
do it?
Coming
Okay,
soon.
bleep that.
No, we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna push for it. I think we could make it happen, and I think it'd be awesome. And I'm taking inspo from some of the other amazing hot dogs I've had. Like I love a hot
What do you
dog.
like? Yeah, what do you like on your hot dogs?
Sometimes I'll throw BBQ sauce on there
Interesting.
with like crunchy onions.
Oh,
Those like French
Yum.
fried onions. But I'm like really with the right kind of relish. Like I don't like a sweet relish. Get that?
Oh,
Ugh.
sweet
All
pickles
those
in
guys-
Sweet
general.
pickles are
Savory.
disgusting.
Disgusting. The gherkins.
Basement.
Yeah, but I truly love just ketchup, mustard, either onions or relish, depending on what's available to me. But yeah, if you've never had barbecue sauce on a hot dog, which apparently a lot of
think
people
I
haven't.
yeah, I don't think I have.
I haven't,
That
but I'm also
sounds-
a pure. I'm a Costco ketchup, yellow mustard, onions.
The
I
classic.
know, this is
Classic.
only when I'm feeling frisky. Like I'm like,
Oh,
I
okay.
want to like make
Okay.
it something different. But the best one I've ever had was a spot in Brooklyn, and they put the onions on it. Well, not barbecue sauce, but they had some like crispy shallots on there,
Ooh.
which were
Yum.
so fire.
Mm.
Mm.
Love.
I can't remember what they're called specifically, but anyone that went to Wazoo will know this. There was a hot dog guy, and I'm like kicking myself that I can't think of the name right now, but they would grill onions, and then they had a bottle of squeezy cream cheese. So you do
Screaming
you
cheese.
do screamy cream cheese, and then I put ketchup and the grilled onions, which sounds disgusting.
That sounds
It is
amazing.
the most
My mouth is
fantastic.
watering right now.
Ooh.
I also now I'm just like there's no better smell than the street wiener ladies.
Oh,
like,
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I thought of you. I turned on Riverside after our
So
class, and I was
good.
so hungry, and I was looking for the tamale lady. I didn't see her, but I was
Oh.
like about to turn over.
She's famous to me now.
She's not there all the time, and she's there like in the morning until like 11. Like she's kind of elusive.
Well,
like
she's
she's just
busy.
like she's there and then she's gone. And maybe she just like sells all of her product and then
And then
has
goes
to go
home.
home and make more. I don't know. I think
Maybe.
she's a very
She's busy.
popular gal.
Yeah.
But I can't eat any other tamales now because everything is trash.
No, that was the
Mm.
best tamale I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get the fuck out of here?
You know what? I love you so much. I was just going to say leave. No, I'm just kidding. Here's what I want to hear from you all. What's our tagline? Our outro?
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, love you. Bye. Love you. Bye.
You're giving me wrinkles.
Am I giving you wrinkles? Well,
Yeah.
that's me and father time. Okay. We're expressive. We're getting older. It just happens.
I know. I'm to the point where I just want to be frozen.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we don't have to go to those extremes though.
I know. Well, say goodnight to wrinkles and hello to Osea's new Dream Night Serum with bioretinol. Dream Night Serum works overnight to visibly reduce crow's feet, fine lines, wrinkles, and even deep wrinkles. So you wake up to visibly firmer, smoother, and more youthful looking skin.
The best part? You get results without irritation, no dryness, no peeling, no adjustment period, just smoother, firmer skin from night one. Osea's Dream Night Serum is for every stage of aging, whether you're targeting the first signs of fine lines in your 20s or addressing deep wrinkles later in life.
Osea's Dream Night Serum has become a key part of my nighttime routine. It's the only thing that can calm me down after my, stressful hour working in the pit. After using, my skin is firmer, smoother, and softer. Plus, there's no irritation and it works overnight.
Also, I don't see this anywhere on here. It smells really good too.
Yeah.
I've been using it at night. It smells
It's
very
like-
florally and beautiful.
It feels like passive income.
Every time I use Osea's Dream Night Serum, I am inundated with comments about how young and hot and beautiful I am. Like, who doesn't want that? I know I do. And to really lock in the moisture and maximize wrinkle smoothing benefits while you sleep, pair Osea's Dream Night Serum with their Dream Night Cream.
Whether you're in your 20s or 60s, this serum is designed to support your skin at every stage. The Dream Night Serum mimics the effects of retinol without irritation, making it safe for all skin types and gentle enough for nightly use.
Say goodnight to wrinkles and wake up to visibly firmer, smoother, natural radiant skin with Osea's new Dream Night Serum. And right now we have a special offer just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code disrespectfully at OseaMalibu.com. Do you say data or data? Well, in my house, we say data because we're not weird. And for the longest time, I thought paying a fortune on my monthly data plan was just totally normal. That is until I found Mint Mobile and their premium wireless plan that starts at just $15 a month.
Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plan's jaw-dropping monthly bills and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All plans come with high-speed data or data, your choice,
Data.
and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
Use your phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month.
No matter how you say it, don't overpay for it. Shop data plans at mintmobile.com/disrespectfully. That's mintmobile.com/disrespectfully.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month, 5 GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Well, again, we just can't thank you all enough for listening. We love it here. Thankful for this coven. We feel your energy all the time.
Oh, absolutely. And I love meeting you all in the wild too.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Should we do some hometown heroes?
Let's get into it.
Anonymous says, hello, friends. Huge fan of the pod. Love you both. Wanted to catch you up on the WWDD email I sent. You both gave great advice on my struggling marriage after breast cancer. Thankfully, my husband and I started couples counseling after digging and finding a therapist covered by our insurance. It's bullshit that it's hard to figure that out, but that's a convo for another day. So far, it's going well. Okay, we're so happy for you.
Mhm.
And yes, we don't want to get me started on that, but
No.
absolute bullshit. Glad you guys found one. I've been dying to write in about my former hoe days. I heard the story about the girl who found the condom trapped inside her after many days and had to tell my experience. My high school boyfriend and I had lots of car sex.
Nice.
Classic. Who didn't? One night, we decided to have sex in the backseat of my Civic on a long country road. After we were finished, he told me he couldn't find
It
it.
always has to be a Civic too, by the way.
Mine was a Jetta, but yeah, it's like a Civic or a Jetta.
Civic or Jetta, that's where the sex is
It
happening.
has to be. A lot of times, it's the seat where you have to crank it to get in the back. Like it's
Yeah.
and there's some
E-brake.
there's some oxidation on the hood. Like I can picture this car.
There's maybe like the roof on inside, the ceiling of the car is dirty.
Yeah, all kinds of.
It has like Sharpie on. I don't mean like dirty, but like
no, I can smell it. I can smell the car.
it smells like hot static,
Uh-huh.
electricity.
After we were finished, he told me he couldn't find the condom. We searched all over my back seat. I was terrified it would be found by my parents. Nothing came up. A few days later, I'm taking a poo and I hear a splat against the toilet bowl. It was the condom. I wanted to clarify that this boyfriend was on the smaller side, so I'm guessing the condom just slipped off his dick. Bonus story for funsies. Dayna, you're so right about the importance of enema before backdoor business. I trusted a toot the other day after backdoor with my boyfriend, and I shit myself in the backyard. The kicker, I wasn't wearing underwear, just a pair of sweatpants I plan on wearing for the rest of the day. I had to clean my sweatpants and go home and change. Thankfully, this happened while I was alone in the house, but still a lesson learned. Thanks for being awesome. Anonymous.
Yeah.
I love that you were able to reminisce on simpler times.
Yeah. And I think the actual lesson learned, regard of like having a enema, is to just never trust a fart.
I mean, we've talked about it before.
No, that's wild. Ugh, those are the days. Anyways, next, Shannon says, hello, huge fan of you both and look forward to the pod every week. The love you both have for 7-Eleven reminds me of a childhood story.
Perfect.
I wrote this in. Just kidding. I lived near 7-Eleven and my sister and I would walk there all the time for Slurpees. To get there, we had to cross a busy road, and one day we decided to jaywalk across it instead of walking half mile to the crosswalk. We got our Slurpees and heading back across the road and stood at the median waiting for the other side to clear for crossing. My sister saw a cop car approaching and got scared she would get in trouble for jaywalking. So without thinking, she turned around and ran back across the road right into oncoming traffic. A car hit her. She bounced off of his windshield.
Oh my God.
Luckily, she was fine, but the poor guy thought her red Slurpee on his now cracked windshield was blood. Oh my God. He was freaking out and obviously relieved to see she was not dead on the ground. She was taken to the hospital as a precautionary measure, and the cop drove to the hospital just to give her a jaywalking ticket. So after all that, she still got a ticket. I still think of that poor man who thought he had hit and killed someone and how traumatizing that must have been. Thanks for reading. I'm so scared to jaywalk.
Okay, I was about to say, this is a big difference between me and Katie. I am excellent at Frogger, but when I say go, it means it is time to go. You don't think, you just go. I'm sitting here chatting with you now. I've never been hit. You will pause and then we're stuck. And then I'm on the other side of the road waiting for you.
Because, you know, a lot of it is I don't trust drivers in LA. Everyone thinks like, well, we got the right of way. We're pedestrians. And like, no one's looking out their windshield. You do understand people are like on their phone. I drive next to people all the time, look in their window. They're texting 100% of the time. They're doing anything but looking at where they're going. So I don't trust drivers.
I don't trust them either. I trust me and I have a good line of sight. I know.
How many times my Citizen app goes off and they're like, pedestrian hit? A couple of times a day. People crossing streets are getting hit right, left, and center. I ain't fucking with that.
Well, I just hope you know that crosswalks don't have like a protective shield that they can't be hit.
No, but
there.
the traffic is stopped.
People get hit in crosswalks. That happens. I'm just saying.
No, of course it does.
Yeah, technically it's safer. And this cop is such a dick for fault. You got hit by a car and the cop comes up to you.
I guarantee people are getting hit in crosswalks because they're going when they still don't have to walk and someone has like a green arrow. That's probably when it's happening because they're still being fucking stupid.
Well, any more people that got hit jaywalking will need to hear about this. And the red Slurpee of it all. I'm a cherry. So I usually do the Coke and the cherry flavor, like mix it up to make a cherry Coke Slurpee. So that could be me. But so mine, maybe they would think multiple bodily functions would have happened when you hit the hood. But
yes,
the poor red Slurpee everywhere.
Okay.
Okay. Hannah says, "Hey gals, love the pod and you both. If you take the time to read this, thank you. This is a story time about my husband, Johnny. I was not present for the events, or it might have never happened, to be honest, but it's a story we tell over and over and might as well be mine at this point. It all starts with a boys' trip to the beach. Strike one, first problem. Coordinated by
That's
my
not
own
for the boys. Sorry.
coordinated by my own father. The group of guys were all friends and family, some of whom were married in, like my husband. I'm glad we already were married, or this incident might have been the stamp of disapproval, lol. They went down to a massive food and drink festival on the beach, where you pay a fee and get all you can eat or drink for a few hours. There were oysters, cocktails, fried seafood. Everyone indulged, and when the festival came to a close, some of the guys were boozed up and ready for more. They went to this great dive bar on the island and played pool, smoked cigarettes indoors, while my husband happily buzzed around making friends with everyone in his path and apparently obliterated every beer that passed his gaze. He's a Gemini, so they hit up another bar and some locals had a grand time that didn't quit till 3 a.m. Also, if you're going to a food festival, you're starting at like 2. You know what I mean? Like the afternoon, like 1 or 2 p.m. So this is like 12 hours by this point that they are out.
That is...
That's a long day. From my husband's perspective, they stumbled back to the house. He chugged a bottle of water and drifted into a peaceful, uninterrupted slumber. In the morning, he woke up at 8 a.m. to an empty house and realized everyone else had checked out of the Airbnb. No text, trash not taken out, nothing. He packed up and was driving back home when our brother-in-law Chris called. Hey man, do you remember what happened last night? Come to find out, Chris got up in the middle of the night to take a leak and heard Johnny wandering through the hallway. He came out to find my husband squatting against the wall in a sitting position, pissing. Yes, pissing. Chris asked, "What are you doing?" And Johnny just grinned back devilishly and started laughing back at him. Demonic shit. Chris was shook and didn't know what to do. Never wake a sleepwalker, you know. He waited for Johnny to finish and made sure he got back in bed. Not 5 minutes later, my dad started yelling from downstairs. What the fuck is this? What is happening? The shower's leaking. Chris ran downstairs to find my dad soaked in piss. I guess my husband's dream had meandered through the floorboards, trickled into the living room where my dad was crashed on the couch. Chris broke the news. Steve, that's not water. Johnny just peed upstairs in the hallway. My dad stared blankly and accepted his fate without a word. He was in no shape to go back to sleep. At 5 a.m., they packed up and left. My dad's fit had woken everyone in the house except Johnny. I was low-key horrified when word got back to me that my husband desecrated my father in this way, but time heals all wounds, and my dad and Johnny joke about it all the time now. Anyway, Johnny was possessed by a piss demon hoe that night, and I can't say I'm proud, just in awe. Hope this made y'all giggle. Bye!
I'm just so confused. What kind of fucking treehouse were they staying in that like pee is just gonna come through the floorboards, through the ceiling, through so that's wild.
So actually, at first I kind of had the same thought, but then I was like, it's a house by the shore. So I imagine it's like 70s, possibly with the walls are wood paneling also. You know, those rickety ass places. I was like, oh, I could see that happening.
I mean, those kind of houses being right by the water where they can just mold.
Well, and then also I had a couple thoughts. I was like, oysters. First of all, I don't eat oysters a la Vibrio, and I think they're gross. No offense. But I'm like, you're sloshing around with oysters and fried seafood and you're drunk. I also appreciate that he did a wall sit. That makes the thighs burn. He didn't just like pee standing up. The sitting is so funny to me. And then just the little look like
Against the wall in the sitting. He thought he was sitting on a toilet.
yeah, but
How?
I mean, good for you. Break gender norms.
You
You
know,
can sit when you pee. It's comfortable.
I respect. I think I think we're at Fleur's birthday, and Nick and I started talking about, do people sit down when they because they had those fancy toilets. And I asked, like, I think I asked Caleb too. I'm like, do you sit down when you pee? And he's like, what? No. And I was like, I understand in like public places where it's just urinals, but if I have the option to sit down and relieve myself, you bet I am. And
I'd be
and I think
sitting.
everyone, well, we do anyway. But I'm just saying, like, as a man, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm taking a seat.
Well, that's what I mean. Like it's available to you, that option. But also on the flip side, if you had a dick for one day, what would your agenda be?
I just have my hands on my balls the whole time.
I'd be so busy. I would be peeing everywhere, standing up.
I just like hand in the pants. I'd probably get arrested.
Hand job, BJ, sex.
Yeah.
I would do so many things, but mostly I would just pee everywhere. Yeah, I'd be
I'd be like
in
one of
the
those.
drunk
I'd be a
tank.
5-year-old like pulling on my wiener all day.
I would
You know
put my
how kids
hands
do
behind
that?
my head and just pee and just see what happened.
Helicopter.
Yeah.
Just
Oh yeah, I would
boner.
bring it around town like Peter in Forgetting Sarah Marshall when she's like, "I got a surprise for you." I want to
Slap,
hear
slap,
that
slap.
slapstack. Yeah.
But if they sit down, do they? I asked them too. I'm like,
have to
does
shove
the
it
dick
down
go
in.
in the toilet or do you put it on the seat?
Yeah, I imagine you have to go south. You got to point it south.
Yeah. What if it dips in the water?
Well, then that's a very lucky person that you're dating. If that's the case, I can't imagine.
Okay, not in the water. Just on the side of the bowl. That's kind of gross.
Creepy. Ugh.
Yeah.
Also, as a lady, is there any worse
Mhm.
experience than you're not paying attention and you just sit on a toilet and you sit and pee? It is just
And the
clean up
thing is-
after yourselves. I know
the
you're
thing is,
supposed to.
because I like to sit down, so I'll use a seat cover, like that. But then when there's not, I'll kind of look and I'm like, it doesn't look like there's anything, and then I'll lightly do a sit, and you stand up, and it's just you can just feel how wet, and then you're like, God, you're getting wet paper towels, and you're now having to wipe yourself like a baby.
Well, I feel like I'm a seat cover gal too, but sometimes if it's emergent, like I pee so much, like
I
sometimes I
can't-
just sit and I don't look.
My knees and my quads don't really allow for like the squatting.
Oh, yeah, people
anymore.
are like, just hover. And I'm like,
hover. You know what happens
Okay,
is
Jane Fonda.
I have to like use so much of my lower body muscles to hover that I can't get all the pee out. And then when I finally stand up to pull my pants up, then I pee more on myself.
yeah, that's a young girl's game. That's not for us.
It's not for us. Okay. Anyway, Vanessa says, "Hi, my queens. Love you both so much. Dayna, you are my spirit animal, and I hate that we only got you for one season. The last season of VPR helped me gain the strength to leave my Republican, narcissistic, cheating asshat of an ex." I like that.
Love.
And set some boundaries with this stupid ass. So thank you, Katie, and send a special thank you to Ariana for me as well. We'll do that. I recently went to something about her and had the Viola chef's kiss. Anywho, I was nervous about writing this story, but decided fuck it. Let's rewind when you immediately remember what this is about. Let's rewind to 2006, 2007, when I was a senior in high school and started dating my teacher. I was 17. He was about 25 and had this whole arm tatted. I was in love. He treated me really well. He introduced me to The Office, horror movies I'd never seen before, and sushi.
This is a crime, Vanessa, but continue.
I have thoughts.
Oh my God.
Always respected me, so there was never anything wrong about it in my eyes. What could go wrong, right? Oh. I don't know what. My brain just malfunctioned. What could go wrong, right? Well, as you can imagine, other people didn't see it that same way. It came to light that this was happening after people saw us at the movie theaters together, so a lot of people got involved, including my mom, the hero of the story.
Oh, so they were out in public with this. This teacher is bold.
The three of us, my mom, teacher man, and me, sat down together so she could hear us out on what we were doing and our feelings for one another. When it came time for my mom to be interviewed by the school and or cops, she told them that she knows who he is because he's dating my older sister, who looks a lot like me. So that might have been why people assumed it was me,
Oh.
his student. Everyone bought it. He and I stopped seeing each other until after I graduated and turned 18. Literally, I spent the night with him the night of my 18th birthday. LOL. In the end, it didn't work out as he had mental health issues he needed to work on. He's still teaching to this day, and I still run into him periodically at the baseball fields my son and his son play on. When I asked my angel mother why she chose to say that, she said he spent so much money to go to school and start his career that she didn't have it in her heart to ruin his life over something that would be okay in a few months. My sister to this day has no clue about us saying it was her he was with. She'd probably disown us, LMAO. Hope you guys enjoyed this story and it wasn't too long. Kate, love you. Bye.
Give me your thoughts.
And I'm not saying in any way this was okay, because I think when it's a teacher-student dynamic, absolutely fucking no. I think also there's something about men that are 25 years old that they're like not 25-year-old women, not they're still very juvenile, so the mental health issues were probably taking a big toll. That like, okay, in retrospect, the age difference isn't like that extreme, because especially when, okay, if he was 30 or 38 and she was 30, no one would bat an eye at it. But it is the teacher-student thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to infantilize people that are, borderline adults. At the end of the day, like, you're adults and you can make your decision, but don't date your teacher. If you want to date someone that's older than you and they want to date you, like, I can't really, whatever, as long as everything is consensual.
What's that? Is it Pretty Little Lies? Well, she's dating because I never. Yeah, there's like a teacher-student dynamic. I'm sorry. And obviously, I think I've talked about it on here. I dated my teacher briefly in college. Here's the thing. There is a big difference between a 20-year-old in college and a 17-year-old in high school. And like, so it was still not great, but you're an adult.
I know, but people split hairs because it's like, I was still hanging out with, like, when I was still in high school, I was hanging out with my friends who had graduated high school. Yeah, were they technically 20 years old? Yeah, but like, to me, we were the same age.
Yeah. So and mind you, it was like after I was in his class and whatever. But
25 is a little bit old for a 17-year-old for sure, especially if you're the fucking teacher.
Yeah, no.
How about teachers stop? Did you hear about that girl that was arrested in March?
Yes.
For something that happened in 2023 or something?
Yeah. Horrifying.
Okay. Like, when you're a 30-year-old woman and you are engaging like that with a 15-year-old, what is wrong with you?
Break down the details, because I know it was like 30-15, and she got really mad because he was like dating. He's a kid. He's a 15-year-old child.
Yeah, well, she because that's what the messages were saying between them, and like she thought he was like cheating on her because he was hanging out with girls his own age, and she also was like bawling, crying, saying that this was it was a setup, that like it was blackmail, and it's like, that's kind of hard to prove, but go off. I just think, like, girl, you in danger.
No, I think in general, especially a high school situation, there's really no way in which that's acceptable. I'm not judging you for doing that, but like, he was the one who was responsible for that. And your mom is an angel. My mom it would have been torched earth. I mean, she would have done everything to ruin his life.
If someone met somebody and they're like, okay, I don't think this person is like predatory, pedophilic person, and this might get me in trouble. Like, could she have been like, I don't want to ruin his life, because it seems like this could have been an isolated incident and this isn't gonna, whatever. She knows her daughter. She met him. So she felt like she made the wisest choice.
Well, and
to not ruin someone's life.
I will say, the first time I went on a Ho tour, I was 17 and I was flying to Denver to meet up with a guy that I knew in high school. So he was probably like 21, I think, 22. And I turned 18 in July, and my mom didn't want to let me go. And I basically threatened her. And I was like, well, I turn 18 next month and we don't know what's going to happen. So like, just let me go. It's 1 month. And she took me to the airport. My mom was also a crier and such a baby, bawling her eyes out. I will never forget turning back at her and her just sitting there crying, like watching me go to security. And I was like, Mom, I'm not going to get murdered. I've watched enough Dateline. I feel good about this. But she let me go because it was like, well, you're about to turn 18. And obviously it turned out fine. But I mean, yeah, when it's a teacher, point blank period, high school teacher student situation is a no for us.
No, the teacher student is going to be a no. But I made more idiotic choices in my 20s than I ever did in high school. I was much more of an adult in high school than I was in my 20s, because it's like, whatever, fuck it, But again, I'm not, can I just say, I am not defending that dynamic. I'm just saying, I was trying to see the mom's perspective.
Yeah. No, I mean, situational, but yeah, I think just a hard through line. Disrespectfully does not back any students hooking up with teachers in any situation in high school.
The one teacher who just got arrested, fucking, yeah, bitch, you're going to jail.
Go to jail.
Like,
that's a crime.
Why even try to deny it? And you're gross.
Hope this helps.
Could you imagine 4 years ago when you were 30, engaging with a 15-year-old?
No, I think about I don't even talk to 27-year-olds to this day. Like, if someone tries to approach me and I first thing I ask, I'm like, you're looking at a little baby face and it doesn't give retinol. So how old are you? And they're like, I'm 28. I'm like, ugh, get away from me. No, a 15-year-old? Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't know. When I was 38, 37, if they were 28, I was like, okay.
No, you and I are different that way. So no, could I imagine? No, I could not imagine.
Well, you don't date them.
It's regardless. No, not for me. Brooklyn says, hey, Katie and Dana. I've been a hardcore Vanderpump Rules fan. I discovered it in the beginning of 2024 and absolutely binged it. You guys got me through some hard times, and I want to thank you for that. Anyway, I'll get into my quick story I think you guys will find funny. When I was 19, I worked at a pizza shop with a guy who was in his 30s and didn't have a license. So he'd pay people to give him rides around, and I'm not the type of girl to turn down a quick buck. Typically, driving him around included doing drug runs for some nose candy. Well, one time I was driving him home where he did several lines in my passenger seat, all while a cop pulled out behind us and followed us for a few miles. My coworker looked at me and said, "It's fine if he pulls you over. I'll just swallow it. You'll just have to take me to the ER after." I was stunned at the response, knowing I could potentially be responsible for an overdose, but luckily I didn't get pulled over. I've never been so close to shitting my pants, but I did end up making $50 for 20 minutes of driving. I hope you ladies enjoyed this story and got a laugh from it. Kay, love you. Bye. Love, Brooklyn.
$50 would be nothing compared to what your bond would be.
Oh, but the thing is, I mean, if he swallowed it, I mean, yeah, as don't drive. It's like Michael Scott. You wouldn't arrest one guy just bringing drugs to another guy, now would you? No, this is, yeah, that's an absolutely federal crime. But when you're a kid, she's 19. Like, hello.
Oh, yeah.
I did so much stupid shit, but I love that the dealer's thought process is like, don't worry, I'll just swallow it, but I will overdose. So you'll just have to get me to an ER within an hour. Like,
that's what I mean. Dumb choices in your adult years.
Yeah, pretty kooky stuff. But I also was just thinking the other day, you know how, because Amanda, who owns Love AJ, sent me some jewelry, and she always uses Uber couriers, basically. Like you just put it in and they just drop you the package as an actual thing on Uber instead of choosing a ride. How many times do you think Uber people are running drugs and don't know it? Maybe that's just how my brain works, but I was like, that has to be.
You just plead like ignorance? Like, I truly didn't know. Like, this is.
Yeah, I mean.
But what if they did know and they got the job as an Uber courier?
To do that. I don't know, because then it's like you have to get you couldn't get linked up with a specific ride. Regardless.
Again, I think there's bigger fish to fry than somebody trying to get a bag of something. We got. The world is burning.
Yeah, I mean, we're living in 2025, but I don't know. I was just thinking, my brain, I was like, there's no way that drug dealers do not utilize this service. So I don't know how that works, but
they pay 19-year-olds $50 to do it.
Smart.
Anonymous says, Anonymous is probably best since I'm currently focused on my big girl career. LOL. Dear Katie, Dana, and the whole Disrespectfully squad, let me start by saying your pod seriously feels like hanging out with my besties. I didn't watch VPR until Scandal happened. I started hearing about it on another podcast I listened to and got nosy. In a true Gemini fashion, I had to start from the beginning so I could have everyone's backstory. Katie, I connected you from the very beginning. You stand 10 toes down on business and take no shit. I was both proud and sad when you got divorced. I was hoping Schwartz could have pulled his head out of his ass for you, but I'm happy you chose yourself and moved on to live your best life. Thank you. Dana, you were my favorite part of season 8. I have to say you handled a lot of situations far better than I would have. From being bullied at work, dealing with a non-committal man-child, and being ambushed with a psychic, I would have open hands slapped at least 4 people. As someone who has a plethora of hometown hero stories, I figured I'd share one that got the most attention in my small town. Buckle up, because this story has some link to it. Back about 6 years ago, I had a friend, we will call her Stacy, who hated her sister-in-law, we will call her Karen. Husbands were brothers. Karen and her husband were getting divorced, and the husband often frequented the restaurant I bartended at. One night at work, I walked down to another local bar to unwind, and the husband was there. We flirted a little bit, and I couldn't wait to tell Stacy, as she hated his wife. She encouraged me to go for it or let him be my sugar daddy, at least since he was a multimillionaire. I said, hell, why not? I'm only 23, could use some entertainment. So I did just that. Karen found out and was livid because she had started to hate me by association since her and Stacy hated each other. It was all fun and games for a while. I was moving and he paid for all the expenses, paid for my vehicle to get fixed when it broke down, took me on numerous shopping trips, typical sugar daddy scenario. Now here's where things get sticky.
Here's where it gets sticky?
Yeah, Karen had a bestie, we'll call her Jenna, and she decided that she now hated me by association. She started constantly posting about me on her social medias, just crazy behavior at her big age, 35 at the time. She was also going through a divorce, so what did I do? I texted her and told her to rethink her choices before I gave her a real reason to hate me. Oh, this is like so me-coded. Fuck yeah. She must have thought I was joking because she continued to post about me. Unfortunately for her, one of my besties worked with her husband. What happened next, you ask? That's right. I fucked him as well. In my defense, they were separated. I told him from the beginning that It was only to prove a point because I didn't like his wife and not to get emotionally attached. He didn't understand the assignment, and him and I ended up dating for a while. Girl. Until eventually got bored of the drama of it all. Our relationship was actually pretty great, surprisingly. I truly think the man would have done anything to make me happy, but after months of being harassed and sent death threats, I thought a man literally is not worth this, and I left. This whole thing ended up causing a huge war that eventually resulted in Jenna's downfall as well as Karen's. They both were balls deep into a pyramid scheme and had a lot of followers that ended up seeing their true colors and leaving them because they took it too far. They brought my children into the situation, and that was the beginning of their demise, to say the least. The things they posted about me during this time were so vile and insane that everyone that knew me personally would just laugh because I've been very transparent about my life. Baby, you can't use my past against me. I'll get on stage with a microphone and say what I've done. Preach. Jenna would also repeatedly threaten to beat my ass, and I would send her my address every single time, but she never showed. When speaking to her husband, she would only refer to me as that dirty fucking... So I ordered a coffee mug that said dirty fucking and posted a selfie with it. LOL. I love it. I did retaliate one time on social media and made a post full of receipts about them. Messages I had received directly from them, court documents proving that the things that they were posting were lies, recorded phone calls, and more.
Check your state laws, you guys. If you're going to record phone calls, make sure you're in a state that California is both parties have to know. I'm just letting you know.
After that, Jenna came running with her tail between her legs, begging me to delete it. I disrespectfully declined. Still to this day, they are receiving their karma for trying to disguise themselves as godly women after taking things straight to hell. Moral of the story, don't fucking bark if you can't fucking bite. And sometimes you have to use your coochie to prove a point, I guess. XOXO, a petty Gemini. I am living for this woman.
No, I love don't fucking bark if you can't fucking bite is like tattooed on my ass.
Yeah, on my grave.
We know lots of biters. We don't know as many barkers, that's for sure.
I know barkers.
Not to say that we don't, just go with it. You know what I mean? People, I would say more of our people.
The people I fuck with
ops
are biters.
Yes, that's
the
what
people that bark.
That's what, the ops. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay.
Yeah, no, guess what? I support everything that you did. And you kind of took the high road every single time. And I don't always like taking the high road, but like somehow what you did was the high road, even if it was like just messy and delicate.
In my big age, I do take the high road more than I usually do, than I have historically. But sometimes they go high and I go as low as fucking possible. I'm like, yeah, be careful. Don't mistake my maturity and my growth for my instability of the past.
Yeah.
I would say.
Well, that's what I mean. I was like, never get into a bitch contest with me.
Well, and then the way that they were like, we had that person that we know who it is, but anonymously wrote in and said someone's girlfriend was being mean over and over and over. And saying like, you're trying to fuck my boyfriend or whatever. And they were like bullying her. And so she fucked him in a park one night.
La 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 la, you will never get this. And then I did.
And then you did. There you go.
I just watched Borat recently. So
such a great movie.
Anyway, such fantastic. Anyways, that's all the hometowns we got. Those were really fun.
It was a great batch. Well, then should we pivot and do a little WWDD?
Yes, I'm ready to therapize.
Okay, let's therapize.
On you, hoes.
Bronwyn says, hi, ladies. I recently discovered your podcast and have binged all the episodes. Now I'm caught up. Loved you both on Vanderpump Rules, and I'm so grateful for both of you. Okay, on to my issue. I'm a 30-year-old female living in Regina, Saskatchewan. I know. About a month and a half ago, I've noticed some decreased vision in my right eye. I have chronic illness, and that causes my optic nerves to swell. Pseudotumor cerebri, aka an illness that mimics symptoms of a brain tumor. So I went to my optometrist as I suspected that was related to this. My optometrist couldn't find anything but sent a letter to my ophthalmologist and he was concerned. Long story short-ish, I ended up in the emergency room for a week after that appointment with my optometrist as my eyes started hurting and I couldn't see anything out of it. It was after a CT scan at the hospital that I found out I have an actual brain tumor, pituitary macroadenoma, which is what is causing my vision issues and is considered very large. The hospital I was at did not have an MRI machine, so they sent me on my way saying I'd be contacted for an MRI soon, and they also sent me a referral to an endocrinologist because I guess my hormones were totally out of whack due to this tumor. They told me I needed brain surgery very soon to remove the tumor, and that my vision in my right eye would return after surgery, but definitely not before. My MRI is not until April 23rd, over a month after I went to the hospital. And after following up the neurosurgeon's office, I was told I would not even have my first appointment with the neurosurgeon for at least 2 months. I'm now on medications prescribed by my endocrinologist to get my hormones in check. These medications are affecting my mood, which really sucks, as I recently got on a new antidepressant that has changed my life. My anxiety was almost non-existent. My depression was gone. I was just beginning to feel like myself again after a really hard 2024 filled with loss, but then this happened. My question is, how do you both cope with having to be patient? I'm supposed to be traveling back to my home province for my grandma's funeral in June, and my fiance and I are getting married on September 25th. I've pestered as much as I can, and now it sounds like I'll just have to wait and see what's going on. While I'm relieved that many of my strange illness symptoms sound like they are due largely to the tumor and it's not just my head as I was led to believe, I'm exhausted and feeling defeated, as now I have to just continue to live my life knowing I have a goddamn brain tumor. LOL. Any advice on how to be patient when things are out of your control would be amazing. Okay, love you, bye.
I mean, this is on another level.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, so many things. You are, Bronwyn, a saint, and I'm so sorry you're dealing with this, and the medical system can just be so, I mean, they're in Saskatchewan, but either way, I think if they thought it was something that could, you were in immediate danger, you'd be in the hospital tomorrow.
That day.
They
would be admitting you immediately. But I know that when they just dump this information on you and you're like, just trying to even grapple and understand it, and then just wait, it has to be just so debilitating. I can only imagine. I mean, I think, I don't know. I mean, I'm not good with being patient, especially when it's like left to other people that have to like decide those things for me, because I want to be able to make those decisions and to my own comfort and ability. But in this case, you're left without a choice. So control the things you can.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that, and also congratulations on your impending nuptials in September.
Yeah.
So I think both of us are actually not good at being patient. Me, honestly, maybe more so than you. It's just people, my friend group, it's like a running joke that like when I'm done somewhere or with something, I have to be done. Like
she's just gone.
I'm out. I can't deal with it. But people, I think, don't understand that it causes physical discomfort in my body when I'm needing to leave, and it's just I'm over it and I need to be patient. I really struggle with that. So I would say more than anything, control what you can. Also, it's great that you have something so major to look forward to in a few months. So like keep that in mind, that this is all going to be resolved in the timeline that it's supposed to. And honestly, like a way in which that traffic, I have panic disorder, and a trigger for me used to be traffic because it's where you feel like you're stuck. It can send me into a panic attack. But you just have to remember, thinking about how much it sucks that you're stuck in this moment is not going to help you. You have to do what you can to dissociate, listen to a podcast, this podcast, to music, talk to friends, do what you can, fill your time with things that bring you joy and just help keep you present. And trust me, I know better than anyone how hard it is to get out of your head.
I mean, sometimes you don't have a choice but to disassociate, because I know you would do this as well. I'll ruminate for hours. Like I will be stuck in a feedback loop that does nothing for me.
Nothing.
It is not productive at all to be stuck in that mindset. So that's why it's like I sometimes will just have periods where I'm going to be unapologetically just watching as many different TV shows as possible, just so I can kind of like have that escapism.
Yeah. Look, you're going to get through it. You're going to be bigger and better than ever. But in the meantime, do what you can to stay present. There is no silver bullet, but we can do little things to try and make it easier on ourselves. And we love you so much. And the whole Coven is going to collectively do a little handhold and send you healing energy. That's what I know.
Yes, 100%. Positive vibes. Anonymous says, hi, Dayna and Katie. I've written in before and you both gave me amazing advice. So I'm back with another dilemma. I really like a guy I work with. I know, another work crush. We gotta have a work crush, gym crush. To be honest, we don't exactly work together, as I'm from an external company and only work at his office once a week. We've chatted quite a bit and there's always been a vibe. And last time I saw him, I decided to give him my number as I was leaving the office. I felt brave enough to do this because of something we'd been talking about and needed to follow up on, so I could be casual about it and wasn't expecting much. But he messaged me while I was still on my way home from work, and we've been talking ever since. The problem is I don't know how to move it on from here to a potential date. as well as a work thing. There's also an age gap. He's 25, I'm 34, so I feel like the ball needs to be in his court. I guess I'm asking if you agree or if you'd go about this differently. Any advice would be so appreciated. Wow. You gave him your number and he messaged you pretty immediately. I think that's an indication that he's interested, but you have to also understand, like, he probably is not sure if you are. You are a bit older. I don't know if it's that you spoke on it. Obviously, maybe you guys know the age difference. So he might be looking for just a little bit more of like an indication that you're down. So I would say, as much as you want the ball to be in his court, you might have to be the slight aggressor in this situation.
Yeah. Retweet
Why don't you just be like, why don't we just go get like, why don't we meet on purpose sometime? Like,
yeah. And also then you can kind of feel it out more when you're in person. Like, yeah, let's meet on purpose and then see if the flirting takes you, or you can see that it's like, he thinks it's more of a friend, that you guys are just going to be like friends outside of work. But I feel like having one-on-one time outside of that
and you see someone in their own like element too, that's not necessarily like in the workspace. Because sometimes that is like a fantasy that does like creep into like your like consciousness too, where it's like you might get out and then be like, oh no, I like him better in that environment. And then you just have it be like your like little daytime fantasy. Yeah. When you get to go see him. Either way, you're going to figure it out. But I think you be a little bit more aggressive in the situation and suggest meeting up and let him then.
He's respond. 25. He just got pubes. He's like super scared and, you know, you're hot. PXG has a passion to make the best golf clubs, and they bring the same passion and precision to their apparel because we want to be hot while we're golfing. The PXG Apparel Spring Summer 2025 collection, I'd say it's their best yet.
Sometimes I want to feel like a sporty little gal, and when I wear PXG's women's Saturday skirt, I'm basically an athlete or sporty spice. I don't know. Plus, all their clothes are extremely high quality, stylish, and fit perfectly.
With clothes designed for performance on the course, you're going to be golfing up a storm. And even if you're not a golfer, these clothes look so good that they're easily styled for a night out on the town, office meetings, or anything you could pretty much dream of.
The PXG Apparel Spring Summer 2025 collection is a modern reinterpretation of classic Americana preppy style, blending vintage nostalgia with contemporary performance wear. Featuring innovative silhouettes, playful prints, and soothing colors, these versatile designs deliver both function and style. With a head-turning fashion of heritage and modern style, PXG Apparel delivers exceptional quality, performance, and lasting comfort. Elevate your style, game on and off the course with PXG Apparel's Spring-Summer 2025 collection. Head over to pxgapparel.com/disrespectfully to save 10% on your order. That's pxgapparel.com/disrespectfully to save 10% off. pxgapparel.com/disrespectfully. Hiring shouldn't be a hassle or a drain on your budget. Upwork is your one-stop shop to find, hire, and pay top freelance talent, saving you time and keeping costs in check, all in one place. Upwork has more than 2 decades of experience with a simple and ambitious goal: to pioneer a better way of working. Companies at every stage turn to Upwork to get things done and find more flexibility in the way they staff key projects and initiatives by accessing a global marketplace filled with top talent in IT, web dev, AI, design, admin, support, marketing, and more. Posting a job on Upwork is easy with no cost to join. You can register, browse freelancer profiles, get help drafting a job post, or even book a consultation. From there, you connect with freelancers that get you and can easily hire them to take your business to the next level. Upwork makes the entire process easier, simpler, and more affordable with industry-low fees. Post a job today and hire tomorrow with Upwork. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That is Upwork.com to post your job for free and connect with top talent ready to help your business grow. That's upwork.com, upwork.com. Anonymous says, "Hi, Dana and Katie. Day one listener and Vanderpump Rules fan over here. Love the pod. I'll keep this short and would love some advice. My best friend lost her battle with cancer almost 2 years ago, and I've been missing her so much. She was my person and I was hers. I've honestly struggled with her passing more than any other loss I've experienced. In your experience with mediums, do you have any advice on knowing when you're ready? I know there's no way to know who may come through, and I worry I'd be disappointed if I didn't connect with her. I've always been interested in seeing a meeting ever since my dad's passing 10 years ago, but never have. Love to hear your thoughts." You definitely have more perspective on that.
Obviously, I'm sorry that you lost your dad, and I'm sorry that you lost your friend. And I do understand the way that we go through life and have different relationships that are important to us. I think that you need to be easier on yourself. Like you guys had that closeness. Like I think sometimes people forget that platonic love is so important and can be measured in such a different way. And so for me, after my mom died, I honestly wanted to see a medium for a really long time, but I just wasn't ready for years and years and years and years until like 2 years ago. I know, which we saw play out on Vanderpump Rules, because I just wasn't ready. And I was afraid if she did come through and how that would feel. And I was afraid if she didn't come through. Yeah. So it took me a really long time to get there. But I think that unfortunately, there's no generic answer that I can give you that it's the same for everyone. It's different for everyone. You just have to listen to your own intuition as to when it feels right. I know that when I finally, actually, I'm going to give you the plug. God, I hope she doesn't mind that I'm going to put her on blast, but I went to a medium named Adela Levine, Lavine, and I think you can set up appointments with her online. I've gone to her, Raleigh's gone to her, we've connected her with so many of our friends that have lost loved ones. She's the real deal, and she was the one that I first feel like my mom came through in a genuine way that you could not deny that it was her. And it was a really meaningful session. I got out of it things that my mom wanted to talk about things that were so out of left field for me at the time of what I think she'd want to connect with me on, that she was, worried, wants me to pay attention to, all these different things. But the specificity to which she knew was really mind blowing. I think with any medium or psychic, you have to go into it knowing that it could be bullshit, and you have to just pay attention and remain neutral and see what they give you out of the session. But for me, it was life-changing and healing, and helped me bring things to therapy in this present world that I didn't even realize that I needed to work through in regard to her. So I think that if you're questioning it a lot, it probably means you're getting there, and don't rush yourself. But also, you have two different people, so you don't know who's going to come through. I would guess they'll probably both come through for you, but just give yourself time and set expectations. But if you're questioning it this much, I would say maybe you're ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of those things like, when the timing is right. You just know.
And hopefully no one ambushes you with that. When you're ready, when it's on your terms.
Exactly. Anonymous says, hello from Anonymous. You two crack me up every week. Heading on a girls' trip all the way across country, over 5 hours. I travel weekly for work with a very high status with my preferred airline. We are not using my preferred airline for the sake of my two other friends using their preferred. Thankfully, I was able to secure a status match for a short period of time. It's the three of us, and we are sitting in the same row in premium economy, me in the middle. Just received an email about upgrading me to first class at no charge. Should I accept it? Will it make it weird with my friends? If I wasn't going to stay with them, I could have just flown with my own airline. What if I feel distance because I miss out on all the conversations? Then again, I'll be with them for 3 days, 24/7. Maybe they would be happy for me. I bet they would take it if they were given that upgrade. I just read something online that said never travel in threes. It was referring to the White Lotus ladies. I'm overthinking it. Ha ha. What would disrespectfully do? You take the upgrade.
Take the fucking upgrade. I will bitch slap you through this microphone if you don't take the upgrade.
I think you already were kind of like trying to be, the camaraderie of like, listen, I'll fly on your airline, but like, of course, status match. Why wouldn't you? I mean, if you have a preferred method and comfort level when it comes to travel, like you do that. I think it's fine. I mean, I think, again, I wouldn't have FOMO of the conversation because just deal with it.
Also, 5 hours, how much are they going to talk about? They're going to be watching a movie for half that time. And also, if they're your real friends, they want you to be comfortable. On the way back from Japan, Katya got upgraded. I didn't. And I said, bye. Enjoy. And by the way, shout out to Katya. She made friends with one of the flight attendants who kept bringing me champagne because she like flirted with her in a like fun way. But regardless, I think that shows maturity and growth. When you're a grown-ass adult, you want your friends. If you get that chance, go take it. If they have a problem
fly together, and I'll straight up book it.
Oh yeah, if I'm like, no, I'm going to do economy for this or whatever. Yeah, she'll book it. I don't care.
I'm someone that is very, very much like staunch in my ways of like how I like to travel, and like my comfortability is important to me. It literally sets the groundwork for the rest of the trip. So like. Why?
Yeah, I want you to be in a good fucking mood. I'm like, get those warm peanuts. don't want to deal with this
Girl,
shit.
they got more than warm penis.
I'm like, well, speaking of White Lotus, it's like, I don't think at my age I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life.
I'm not meant to live an uncomfortable
No.
life. It's like those are the things I like to spend money on, and so I'm going to. But I'm not like question why other people don't. Some people they have different priorities, and they're allowed to spend their money how they want to. But
And if they have a problem with it, play them this episode and let me tell them to their face behind the camera, you are being a hater. If you're mad at your friend, you're being a fucking hater. Go get some calamari and some crab legs and enjoy your trip. Like, what do you, please
take the upgrade.
Anonymous says, throuple advice.
Ooh.
Hi, Disrespectfully crew. My wife and I, both in our 30s and female, love you both so much, always find time to enjoy the show together. So naturally, when the first crazy thing that ever happened to us in our time of being a couple occurred, we had to write in. We've been, you guys, and if you're listening to this and you keep hearing my sniffles, I'm sorry, I'm having allergies or something's going on. We've been together for 10 years, happily married for 7, and have never felt any urge to open our relationship. We've been together for 10 years, happily married for 7, and have never felt any urge to open our relationship or even have a one-off threesome. But we found ourselves in a bit of a situation with our mutual best friend, our straight best friend, who had just broken up with her boyfriend in the past 6 months. Caught us both by surprise. We're not sure where the lines blur between friendship and crush, but suddenly we found the three of ourselves cuddling, holding hands, and having sleepovers. We finally all had the dreaded convo about how not normal things were and agreed to a trial throuple situation. We totally don't know how things are going to go, but we're rolling with it, and threesomes have been amazing. We're finally aware that things could absolutely be disastrous, but following our feelings has felt nice on all parts to this point. So we suppose we'll see where it goes. At the very least, we're having a lot of fun for now. Do you have any advice for us as we enter this new chapter of our friendship and now relationship with one another? Love you all so much. Yeah, I do actually, which is why I picked this.
Communication.
Anonymous, take a seat right here. Here's my thoughts on this. You know your friend has historically been straight, and that's not to say that they haven't been suppressing or not even aware of their queerness, which is totally fine. But I think if you are in a queer relationship and you bring someone in who hasn't necessarily had those relationships, and this is me speaking as a bisexual woman who hasn't yet had a serious relationship with a woman, I think that it just makes sense to keep that in mind, that maybe they've had some different experiences. And if it's just having fun and you're able to compartmentalize feelings and you guys are just hooking up, I think that's one thing. But it seems like you are entering an emotional phase, as women do, with this new relationship. So I would just say communicate. Make sure you have boundaries in place when you're having those conversations about like, okay, this isn't normal. We're obviously something more than we thought we were. Not to say that this couldn't, be an absolute home run, whatever. But I think everyone needs to set expectations openly, honestly, about where they are.
Yeah. I think yeah, communication is going to be your best friend through this entire next chapter, because I think by nature, like women, we have like much more of like an emotional connection with our friends. So like progressing into like having a cuddle with your friend on the couch, like can be very extremely non-romantic, platonic thing, because we're just comfortable expressing ourselves in that way. Now it can like lead into other things if there might be interest and curiosity on one or the other's end. So I think understanding like, while there can definitely be like an emotional bond there that you've had since friendship that has now evolved into something else, I think setting expectations and boundaries are going to be what's most critical, like you said, because this person, they just might be seeking solace in something that it feels comfortable and feels good for the moment. And not to say that they're a bad person for that. That's, am I representing what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying.
So I wouldn't consider this like a permanent thing, but I would just say like one day at a time and just be very communicative.
Also, you're already in it, so we can't do anything about that now. But I also want you to keep in mind your friendship would probably change. If it ends, and not to say forever, not to say it'll be negative, and you can't get back to a place. And I think anytime, queer, straight, whatever, when sex or any type of romanticism is involved in a relationship that was previously platonic, there's a grace period of just like needing a
cooling period. But I think people who
are
are very emotionally mature, like they absolutely can.
Yeah.
It's when people can't handle those certain aspects of those types of relationships, having like swift changes, like feelings of rejection, and like that will creep in and cause issues. But if you're all very emotionally mature, then I don't think you have a lot to worry about as long as you're communicating.
Allison, do you have anything to add to that as a queer person?
Over communicate.
Okay. Right? Allison said basically communication, boundaries, but the original couple check in with each other. Make sure everyone's feeling the same way at the start. I think that was a wonderful full circle
The
moment.
not
You're
assuming part. I think over communicating is never, you can't over communicate things. I don't
Yeah.
think. So they're done that.
Been there, done that. Great.
All right.
Last one.
Karen says, hello, beautiful humans. Hope this finds you well caffeinated and ready to kick names and take ass. Yes, I meant to write that. I need friend girl advice. I travel all over the country for my husband's work. I work remotely, so making good friendships is really hard. I have a friend. We've been friends for almost 20 years. I met her before I started traveling. Backstory, we became friends when we worked at the same company. The IT guy, who was so hot, started talking to me, but he let it slip that he used to date my friend. Oh, I reached out to her and told her that he had asked me out, but I knew that they had dated and would she have an issue? She did, and I shot the guy down. This started our friendship. I've always been her cheerleader, checked in on her, made her birthdays memorable, and when she wanted to visit me, I'd pay for one leg of her flight and took care of accommodations and meals. However, I feel that it has become one-sided. Last year, she said she sent me a birthday card and a gift, but got the address wrong twice, and then told me she had forgotten. However, if I forgot her birthday, she'd go ballistic. When I've asked her for Christmas list, she doesn't send it yet because she rubbed in my face what her boy toy got her for Christmas. I have stopped checking in on her, and it can be several weeks to several months before she got back in touch with me. If we talk, she always cuts me off and interrupts me. When I've told her where we're moving to, and I don't have a choice of what state we're moving to, if it doesn't align with her political views, she always makes nasty comments. When she has problems with her sister, she turns to me more. When things are fine with her sister, she ignores me. And working on the road and traveling for the past 7 years can be quite lonely. She's never offered to have me come and visit her, or if I'm back in town and we decide to go for a meal, she sits there and waits for me to pick up the check. I feel that I have given entirely too much to this relationship, even though I'm one of those friends that spoils their other friends and I'm there whenever they need me. I feel as if I've been taken advantage of. Yeah. I'm not one that enjoys confrontation, but I don't know how to end things. I have a very small circle of friends that I can talk to just about anything. But having somebody in my inner circle takes a lot of trust and a lot of work. So here's my question. Am I overacting with this? If not, how do I get out of this friendship without having a massive fight? I'm not one for confrontation, but when confronted, I could hold my own quite well. Any advice you could give me would be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Okay, can we really quickly just end the rumor that anyone likes confrontation? You and I both have a great skill set to handle confrontation, but doesn't mean we enjoy it.
No, enjoying confrontation isn't a thing.
No, that's not a thing. No one likes it.
People
it's not
just
fun.
People just fucking deal with it. So yeah, no, obviously, I find like friendships like this like extremely taxing, emotionally, physically, mentally. It's really difficult when people are different people. But I think you can find happy medium. But I think boundaries are always what's important. And sometimes they're not even like spoke. You don't need to like have a boundary conversation with this person. You just need for yourself to like decide what that looks like for you and how it makes you feel comfortable. I'm someone that's like really protective of energy and like I am selective of the people I want to be around. So like for you to like be putting effort into a person, that obviously says and speaks a lot to like who you are and how you like to like spend your time and energy. So I resonate with that. And I know sometimes you want to like not rock the boat, but if this person is only engaging with you and investing in you and your time when they need something from you, they are taking advantage of you. And when they meet up with you finally and they wait for you to pick up the bill and it's like you only get to see each other when you offer to fly them out, like they're 100% taking advantage of you. And I think you actually have an advantage on your end because you are traveling quite a bit and you don't live in the same state or in all those things to kind of like naturally create distance that needs to be there. And I know like communication would be great in this, but I don't think this person is great at communicating and has like the emotional intelligence and IQ to understand that.
Yeah, I would say just to add on to that, don't stay in a place where you're stuck with another person energetically or otherwise because you're afraid that you won't meet new people, because I also think that is what perpetuates that cycle. And like I understand that you travel and it's difficult and whatever, but if you're putting time into something that is taking you back, you're not putting forth what you need to meet the new people in your life. You have to make room for them. So if you have something that's super draining or feels icky, or you're constantly questioning if you're being taken advantage of, if you even have to ask yourself, am I being taken advantage of in a friendship? I think it speaks volumes. So I think I know you've known each other a long time, but I think that you're just in a new phase and you can have the conversation with them and tell, but to Katie's point, I don't know that they're emotionally intelligent enough to have that land.
Do you think they'll notice?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would say it's time to probably move forward from this one.
And I think that can be like for you and your mind, because you'll ruminate about this. Just put your focus and energy on yourself or someone else for the time being. I know that can be consuming, but I think just kind of like giving your opportunity just to like redirect focus will help naturally set some boundaries for yourself. Hope that helps.
Hope that helps. Well, everyone, that's
the 100th episode.
That's the 100th episode. We hope you loved it as much as we loved talking at you incessantly.
Yeah.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like, disrespectfully.